Peace and love, it's your boy Don Kilam, and welcome to Dream Keepers Radio, that private life podcast. You're here, tuned in with your boy, and this is brought to you by Follow the Yellow Brick Road by Don Kilam. Search the book on Amazon now. Go get the book and uncover the matrix and how the United States is operating in the financial marketplace. Much peace and love. Peace and love, everybody.
Yo, what's good with those beats though, bro? Damn.
Yo, what it do? What it do?
It was all Don Kilam beats.
Real talk. Jeez.
Yeah, that was all Don Kilam, man. You can look it up. Let me go ahead and show y'all, man.
Yeah. Post something up on that, man.
Black Bach, man.
My brain was just flowing when that beat came on.
I appreciate that. That means a lot. Let me show you who y'all can go to. That's from the album called Masterpiece by Black Bach. A lot of people don't know that Bach was black, but nationality is the order at the end of the day, so he's a Moor.
Oh, Masterpiece a Moor?
Black. Bach was black, man. Y'all don't know. Mozart is Mozart.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
That's tight. Even Beethoven.
Beethoven, that's Tovin Bay. Come on, man.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you gotta learn the history.
That's Mozart?
I learned it. No, that's Black Bach.
Oh,
Black Bach was black.
Oh.
Like the person who came out as Bach, you know, he stole it all from black people. So the real was black. Yeah.
Wow.
Beethoven. That's Tovin Bay. You know how all the Moors got L's and Bays?
Yeah.
That's Tovin Bay.
That's tight.
Tovin Bay?
Yeah. Y'all can look up Tovin Bay too. Let me show y'all. Go ahead. I'm bringing the music back home.
Stop playing Don Kilam. You serious?
There you go, man. Look, Tovin Bay. Let's go. I'm gonna let y'all hear some. That's Equity's cousin.
Yup.
You know what I'm saying?
Where you get the history on that at?
You gotta be tapped in with a private education.
Wow.
I went to school.
It's just been handed out from generations after generations.
So, you know, it's crazy because I'm a student of history. I like reading history. It's still like, to me, and it's not even a conspiracy, how a lot of things when it comes to certain minorities in the past, how even now to this day, they're not really, the big publishing houses don't really publish. And like what you just show right there, you don't really see that in a large publishing house being published, you know. And like even certain things that happen in history, you know, even with the Civil War and, you know, certain like stories that happen in cities with past and like law enforcement, you know, how they write those stories and they still need to be rewritten, you know, and it's a big issue out there that I've seen, you know what I mean? Even to this day.
So let me introduce Sean. So y'all see it says Sean right there. Adley, I think that's what it says.
Yeah, Sean Adley with MAL.
Sean Adley. So anytime he's talking, everybody needs to shut the fuck up. All right.
Oh, no, it's not even like that.
No. Just let everybody know. He is the guest speaker today.
That's what's up.
So everybody,
I appreciate that. Thank you so much,
Sean. Welcome, Sean.
What's up, Sean? Don,
Yeah.
Equity. What's good?
Hey, what's good, Henry?
What's good, man?
So Sean
Oh.
He's my go-to guy, man. Henry, you've already hollered at him, didn't you?
Yeah, I'm tapped in already. We're working.
Yeah, that's Henry, Sean. You see him?
Henry, how you doing? Appreciate it. He's got to show me some of those trading techniques, man. I heard about his high roller trading stories. I like that.
Yeah, my guy Equity too. I'm real close with my guy Equity, man. He been tapped in with me for some years. He understands securitization. Well, understands.
Nice.
Securitization for sure. And equity. That's why his name's Equity.
You got to get that diamond package. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey, that's why. Hey, you eating, Henry. That's why it took me 15 minutes. That's why we started slow.
Oh, you're having dinner?
I had to eat something real quick.
Hey, after this, I'm going to the gym, man. I need a little something.
Yeah, I'm going to the gym too today.
Turn up. Yeah. I am.
My girl got out of prison.
Yeah, turn up.
Yeah, we got it out.
Yeah.
You're doing burpees.
Say hi. Say hi.
Hi.
You heard? She taking notes.
Welcome home, nigga.
Say hi, class.
Hi, class.
Hey.
Welcome home, Queen.
She says there's no ice in paradise.
Ah!
He crazy.
And selling drugs is not a lawful crime. You feel me?
100.
That's it, man. I'm not licensed attorney Texas, but I do this for educational, informational purposes only. I want Sean. You go ahead and start it off, but most of the people. Well, I know I probably do have some new people in here. If you've been rocking with me long enough, everybody should understand what an asset-backed security is. An ABS.
Yeah,
it's a financial investment that is collateralized by an underlying pool of assets, usually ones that generate a cash flow, such as loans, leases, credit card balances, things of that nature. The mortgage-backed securities are a big one.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the biggest ones. And thank you for introducing me. My name is Sean Adley, CEO and Senior Manager of Mortgage Audits Online. I think I've spoken to a few of you guys already. Appreciate you guys for reaching out to me. Basically, we are a pro-consumer securitization auditing company. So we basically uncover all of these securitization fraud and the issues relating to primarily mortgages, auto loans, and credit cards. That's our big three. But we do also other reports as well, like QSIP lookups. We do reports and QSIP lookups on court cases, tickets, birth certificates. We have a really good report that we do on birth certificates. So one of the few companies you can get it from. It's like a full-on analysis of the birth certificate, the securities, the bonds, where it was monetized and sold to. And we do those, and we also do research on personal identifiers like socials. So, the bonds and the QSIP. We do domestic and international. Obviously, we are a US-based company. My office is about an hour from LA, but we cover all 50 states. And we also do international. So people actually come to us from Canada, England, Australia, and they get the reports and the research from us. So a lot of people don't realize is, the central banking system, it's all connected, even internationally, right? So even with Australia, Ireland, some of these other countries, UK, the securitizations, they're connected to the US securitization in England and then the central banks there. So it's all just this huge collateralization and securitization of all of our, debts that we are signing for, So when we go and we sign a mortgage note, based on fractional bank lending, we're creating the debt, right? So when I go and I get $1 million mortgage and I sign off on it with my credit, they're basically taking their reserves. Like in that example, they might have a reserve of, let's say, maybe $50,000 or $100,000 in gold or cash reserves, and then they'll leverage 10, 20, or 30 times that, right? So then they're creating $900,000 worth of debt on a piece of paper called a note. And then I'm signing on that, and then I have a debt now that I have to repay. Some people say it's an imaginary debt. Some people say it's not real. However, that's the banking system. And I'm sorry, before I say that, I have to say that what I'm saying is for educational purposes. So I just have to say that.
That's it. We're not licensed attorney or tax experts.
Yeah. So now I have this debt that's $900,000 that they've created. Now take that and times that by millions of loans people that are taking out there, the millions of dollars of debt that people are signing for, and buying homes, buying cars, getting credit cards, and all of this debt is being securitized on the secondary market. It's billions of dollars. When I first started out, I started out in this industry over 10 years ago, and I was a database researcher. So I'm also a software engineer. So I know certain things about the securitization that a lot of people don't know because of my technical knowledge. So I know how the data streams work. I know where the databases, how they feed the databases, and all that. So I would actually go in and I would research the databases of the securitization trusts. So I would go in there and I would look through how many loans were in there. Like I'm looking at it on the terminal, and I would go through it. Sometimes I would see things I shouldn't have seen. Sometimes the profits and the money, but it was astronomical. Some of the things that I've seen, and I tell people, some of this money that they're making, it doesn't make any sense because it's so astronomical. It's in the trillions. And this is literally money that you can't really spend. I mean, this is money that they use for other purposes, okay? Like government level, state level. These are worldwide power issues that I say. So it connects to that. So it's like securitization at the front end. They're getting the loans, we're paying the interest, and then they're pooling these into asset-backed securities, bonds, securitization. They're putting it on these databases, and then these bonds are created, and the bonds are then people are investing in the bonds. And companies like Apple is a big investor in bonds. So if you ever look up a bond on Fidelity, a lot of the big bonds that are like 50 million, 100 million, $500 million, you see Apple is one of their big investors. So Apple will invest into these bonds and make dividends. So you have Apple and you have other big corporations, Microsoft, other big corporations. So they're investing in these bonds. So they're connected to it as well. So then you have them, they're making dividends, they're making interest on their front end, the back end. So it's just out of control, astronomical amounts of money. So what that means for the consumer is, let's say you have an auto loan or a mortgage or a credit card, and you want to see how this fits into your debt, your loan, your mortgage, your credit card. So what we do is we find that information that relates to your loan. So if you have like a mortgage, we'll trace the mortgage-backed security. We'll do the research. We have a really great auditing team here, research team. And from that information, we research the bonds. We have some very good database sources that, only like a few of us have. And I'm one of the few companies out there that has it. And we'll find this information out, and then we compile a report, which is called a securitization report. And you can see samples of it right on our website. If those of you haven't seen our website, take a look at it. It's Mortgage Audits Online. And Don, if it's possible, can you pin it in the chat or something?
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. And, you could see samples of those reports, and the reports show the securitization of the mortgage, shows the path of the note, the profitization, the monetization, the collateralization. With the auditing team, we actually will go into the prospectus, and we'll go into the pooling and service agreement, and we'll actually find things in their own bylaws that basically they violate it. So many times they'll violate their own bylaws. So they'll say something in their prospectus about the procedure. They'll say something like an assignment has to be filed within 90 days of the securitization, has to be filed this, and that, and then they won't do that. So in effect, the bank is violating the securitization trust bylaws or the prospectus. So that happens. We find that a lot in the course of our work. So not only do you get like the research on the securitization, but we also kind of go through the prospectus and the pooling and service agreement, and we find things that we can use to counteract what they're doing. So obviously, with the mortgage securitization audit, it's going to show all that, and then people use those reports, obviously, in foreclosure defense situations to make claims. A lot of people use them in lawsuits, mediation. There's all kinds of ways people use them. So, the main thing is for us is to give the consumer something they can use to defend themselves, against these big banks, because unfortunately, with the way the banking industry is and the lack of regulation and, kind of like the hands-off approach of the government, they kind of just do what they please, and unfortunately, they do kind of bully people sometimes. And so, it's like they're not really going to jump to your attention. They're not really going to do anything substantial until you have something in your hand that's going to show the securitization, that's going to show the fraud, that's going to show the issues that's going on with them. because you have to remember they don't want to get audited either. So a lot of people don't realize they don't want to have to open up their books, get audited by the SEC or the IRS. That creates issues for them. Not only that, class act could lead to a class action, could lead to lawsuits, investigations. So those reports that we do definitely puts the ball back into the homeowner, the consumer court, and gives them something where they can defend themselves in a way where they have the best shot at trying to get some type of positive outcome. We just had a big case where somebody was involved to use our report in the case process, and they ended up getting a settlement. So that was the most recent one. We had somebody else get a claim check as well not too long ago. So so that's pretty much the rundown of the what we do. But yeah, in a nutshell, we mainly do the reports. We don't really get into the procedural, meaning we don't really show people how to use it, but we have a really good referral network. I have a free kit on our website that I give away to the public that has instructions on how to learn and the letters and everything. But we really have a good referral network. But Don as well, he's probably one of the best guy out there you can go to show you how to use the reports as well. So once you get the report from us, you go back to him and he'll show you how to use it. But aside from that, if anybody has any questions or if you want to chime in on that, Don, at all.
Yeah, man. Yeah, if y'all have any questions about securitization, ask him and what he offers. He just told you basically anything connected to the birth certificate, and social security card, anything you're paying, man.
Yeah. So it's the big three. I always like to say mortgage loans, auto loans, and credit cards. That's usually what people order from us. And then like if you have a birth certificate, I know people like us to do, we call those research packages, so birth certificates, collateralization on that. We do the research on those, and court cases.
Court cases for sure. He's helping me with a brother right now.
Yeah, the court cases, and people take those in and they present them, in court. And we had a couple people have some good success. We just had someone in Canada have a really good success on a court case report that we did, and she actually runs a group. So it's all about how you use it, and I think the education part is important. That's why it's important that you do have Don's expertise on the other side of it, right? So with us, I always tell people, we give you the information, we give you the reports, we give you the affidavit. It's a tool in your shed. It's probably one of the most important tools, but then you have to go to the tool master, right? You got to go to Don the master, and he's going to show you how to use the tools, right? So that's what I like to say, and it's just so many different ways, the report can be used. There was this big case that we were involved in. The guy, his property was worth over $1 million, a wealthy guy. He came to us and he found our company. He was like, you know what, Sean, I'm just going to order one of your premium packages and see what happens. And he ordered it, and he was actually already litigating with his bank for a year. Now, there's a rumor in our industry that anytime you have a property over $1 million, the banks fight harder. Okay, that's just a rumor. I can't prove it, but it's a rumor. So they were fighting him pretty hard. And this guy had like 2 or 3 attorneys, and they were like top tier attorneys. And they were going back and forth with a year with this bank, and they weren't really getting anywhere. And anywhere substantial. So when he came to us, he's like, I'm just going to order your reports and see what happens. So he ordered one of our premium packages. He gave it back to his attorneys, and he was like, hey, just submit this and see what happens. So they submitted in the case. They sent it to the bank's attorneys. And when the bank's attorneys saw all the different reports that we did, the fraud and the analysis and everything and the affidavit, they actually offered to settle with him. And he actually settled close to his loan balance. So he settled, he got a big settlement, and then he called me, he thanked me, he told me what happened. And he was pretty happy with the result. And the point being is that he was litigating for a year, and they did not offer to settle with him until they saw the reports. You see, that's the point. So that's why the reports that we do are so important. And that's why a lot of people come to us. We get a lot of referrals from all over the world, all over the country. It's because, that's just how it is, the banking, litigation, culture is a culture of, they're not really gonna. I mean, these corporate attorneys, they're pretty, the top tier. Some of the corporate attorneys that represent the banks, and if you go in there blindly, not, it's not a good idea. It's anytime, like if I go to court against my mortgage company, I want to make sure I have everything, including the audit that's going to help me defend myself against them, especially if I'm making a claim or challenging the title to a property. So mortgages definitely very important. I mean, auto loans, same thing. Auto loans, it's the financing system. You go to the dealer, you sign off on an application, you get a finance contract, you get a retail sales agreement. Now this debt is being monetized and securitized. So it's the same concept there. They're taking these loans, they're taking these auto loans, and they're securitizing them, collateralizing them, into the bonds and into the securitization trust, and they're making millions of dollars. So it's the same concept there. And the credit cards, it's the same concept, the securitization, collateralization, all that involved. That's why it's important to have all that, have information. And it's really eye-opening, when you see, like, if you guys ever have a chance to go on my website, pause on the videos when you see the sections where it's showing you the screenshots. The screenshots will show you the numbers, and you'll see it's the numbers of the bond, like the value of the bonds, $50 million, $60 million. Some of them are $500 million. And these are bonds that are being collateralized, and the debt is being securitized into these bonds, whether it be directly or indirectly or collateralized. So it's pretty astronomical numbers. And when you see the reports, you'll get a much better idea of the numbers and the figures involved. And so, when these are taken to a hearing or taken to a court, even like if the judge looks at it, I'm sure he's going to be like, wow, this is a lot of money they're making on it. So that's the whole idea, is to present this information and to use it as leverage, where the consumer can use it and leverage it to try to get the situation resolved for them. I mean, we want to see everybody win, however, everybody, has their own ways, of using it. So it's just so many different ways you could use it. In the U.S. financial system, there's just so much securitization. There's just so much collateralization. It's really astronomical, the amount of money that's made and the amount of interest that's made. So it's just a lot of things that go into it. Yeah, absolutely, definitely $1 million worth of it. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's it. Can you see the chat, Sean? They ask questions. I don't even want to repeat some of the questions, but I'm gonna pull this up from the definitions from one of your audits. Securitization in general, the definition: securitization is the financial process of pooling receivables, such as residential mortgage loans, and using them as a guarantee for the issuance of investment certificates, which are then sold to the investing public. The collections from the principal and the interest on the loans are used to redeem the certificates and pay for their interest. And I like to go to investopedia.com as well. This is where I first learned about I learned about mortgage-backed securities first, and then I started learning about other securities. So as he was saying, auto loans are asset-backed securities. The cash flows of an auto loan include monthly interest payments, principal payments, and prepayments. Those are three different payments that your payment is going on. So at the end of the day, securitization is illegal. It turns you into a private investor. This is why I teach people about GAAP, General Accepted Accounting Principles, because if you just run a plain audit, you're doing that on accounts and not the securities. And a lot of people don't understand that. You can do an audit with the IRS, but they're not going to audit the securities. If that makes sense to everybody.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
But if somebody want to read them the questions in the chat, I don't know if you can see them.
Yeah, I can.
All right. The guy said he came in late. That's the one I don't want to answer. That's the one I don't want to read out loud.
Well, what is it? I don't see the question. Oh, I think I see it now. Okay, what is it?
Hey, can you see, Henry? Can you read it out loud?
Well, which one?
One from Garrison.
Oh, I see it. Yeah.
One from Ricky Hamilton as well.
Yeah, join late. What exactly is securitization, and what can I do with it? Sorry if it's a dumb question.
Oh no, it's not a dumb question. It's a very perfectly fine question. So, securitization, is the process of securitizing debt, collateralization. So basically, in a nutshell, I always like to say, when somebody gets a mortgage loan, an auto loan, or a credit card, then that debt is being securitized or collateralized into a securitization trust and or a bond. So basically, they're taking the debt and they're selling it into a securitization trust and or bond, and then they're monetizing it, and then there's another world of them trading it and making dividends and things of that nature. So in a nutshell, they're taking your debt, selling it, and they're making money on the secondary market.
That's it.
Yeah, so that's like, I guess, the simplest way.
I like that. I like that explanation, and thank you for being cool about it.
Yeah.
So me, I learned securitization was illegal through somebody named Gene Keaton, and started learning about securities, and then it's just like the note is just disappeared. Like they say, you abandon the note, like most of the time, and the payment's going towards investing in that security or that bond that he's speaking of. And that's how it was given to me. And I learned this from a letter of rogatory. When I really started learning what was going on in the courtroom. I'm about to show everybody too. I would love to hear your input on it too, Sean.
Yeah, sure.
So I'm about to pull it up so everybody can see it on the screen. Literally, I was in a court case, working on a court case. We did a letter of rogatory is a letter to a foreign court. So I'm learning. It says we've learned what goes on behind the scenes of these alleged criminal cases, which are really civil claims in equity, and the steps taken to securitize these civil claims. So this is a securitization process with a court case as well, just like your notes, just like your auto loan, your mortgages. The court cases are getting securitized as well, and they're not giving full disclosure to the people. So in this letter of rogatory, we let the courts know that we're opting out of any contracts and do not allow any documents regarding that birth certificate or the Social Security insurance, which is a public insurance, to be securitized and sold to investors, etc. And then it breaks down how they securitize it. They pull together these notes, and then they become securities, which are yet to be pulled together and sold as bonds, just as Sean just explained. Yep. And then said bonds are going to be liens against you. They create these bonds to be a lien against you. So this is why they can take your car if you don't pay it. They take they foreclose your house. And so Sean steps in and he shows you the whole securitization process. His team can show you basically all the frauds and whose hands has touched them.
We'll be back after a quick break.
Are you ready to unlock the secrets of commerce and build an empire that lasts for generations? Look no further. Introducing $1 Million Worth of Game by Don Kilam, your official guide to the private and public side of commerce. In this groundbreaking book, Don Kilam reveals the strategies and insider knowledge you need to create and protect your wealth. Learn how to navigate the intricate world of commerce, master the art of building an empire, and secure a lasting legacy for your family. Get your hands on $1 Million Worth of Game today and embark on a transformative journey toward financial abundance. Don't miss out on the opportunity to build your empire and secure a prosperous future for generations to come. Get ready to conquer the world of commerce. $1 Million Worth of Game by Don Kilam, your ultimate guide to building an empire and leaving a legacy. $1 Million Worth of Game by Don Kilam. Available now. Get your copy and start your journey to generational wealth.
Yeah, absolutely. And the court cases, for those of you who want to look it up, usually those are going to be connected to some kind of municipal bond. So like you can go on Google, and like for example, if you're in California, type in California municipal bonds, and then just kind of look through them. And sometimes it'll say where the bonds are invested in. And yeah, so they're collateralizing court cases, past, present, and future. And yes, you can use it for criminal court as well to answer the person's question in the chat. And yeah, if the person is already, incarcerated, yeah, you could still use them. Past or present is fine.
I'm glad you brought that up. We call them munis, municipal bonds.
Yeah, munis.
So a lot of people think that the taxes pay for a lot of shit, and it doesn't. Like they're getting loans from you and municipal bonds. Like a lot of people got to understand this. They don't. This is what is construction of highways, bridges. This is what pays for schools. It has nothing to do with the tax dollar. It has everything to do with bonds. Yep. Creating municipal bonds off the regular people. Just thought I'd throw it out there. I had to throw that in.
Yeah, absolutely. That's great that you show that. Thank you. And a lot of people don't even realize that. So like when I talk to people, I tell them like, hey, go look in your state, go research the municipal bonds, how they're collateralized and how, like if you can actually go on Fidelity, and if you know how to do the searches, but if you're able to pull a prospectus of a municipal bond, I mean, it is kind of technical, but you guys are smart in this group, so you can actually go in and see where they're being invested to. I mean, it is kind of tedious. You have to look at each line by line, go down, but it'll tell you transportation, it'll tell you public works, and it'll say like 5%, 1%, or 3%, and you can see that, and so you can get an idea of where this municipal bond is being traded. And so the court cases, criminal, civil, whatever it is, these are state municipal bonds that are being collateralized and backing up those particular sets of court case batches and collateralized at the county state level. So basically what we do is we research that. We have different packages, different levels and stuff. So please contact us directly to discuss that. But and we cover that, and we uncover the values, and then people then use that in as leverage, as far as, whatever they're using. Like I know this one lady, she actually took one of the research packages for a court case. She took it inside the hearing. And in that case, what happened was the information, it was, it was showing the bonds, it was showing the values. It was like $30 million or something. And when she presented that to the court, it kind of spooked them a little bit. And then what happened was the prosecutor, he didn't know how to address it, so he didn't know how to address it. He was like, kind of like, he was like, well, I guess they securitized, or there's bonds connected to the courthouse. Whatever, he didn't know. So actually what happened in her case, from what she told me, it was dismissed in her favor on that day. So that was an issue of basically the prosecutor not knowing how to respond. Yeah, so that's one of those situations. I know the client we had in Canada, she was pretty happy. She took the research package we did on her court case into court. She showed them the bonds and everything. She got a really good result, and she's pursuing some claims, some monetary claims, but she's pretty happy with the result that we gave her, because even in Canada, they have regional bonds. Even there, it's the same financial concept, right? So so yeah, that's what those bonds are, and so if you have like a court case, even in the past, we can still do research on those. And if it's a past case or if it's a present, that's fine. Criminal, civil, it doesn't matter what type of court case it is. As long as you have a court case number we can look up, or some type of name. There has to be some type of identifier.
Every government official has a bond. Can you run something on their bond?
Yeah. If there is a if there's a bond number, yeah, we can research the bond.
That's lit.
Yeah, absolutely. But let's see the questions here.
All right, I want to address something. J.M. Phillip, she says, this is amazing, but it seems like Georgia laws are super strict, but I like this. I think this will help my family number. So I just want to address that. I've seen this work in Georgia and Florida. So
yeah,
this is everywhere. You got to understand. So let me just show you guys something. So he does his own thing. All right. He has his own understanding of everything. And I love it. You hear he's super intelligent. He's not just pulling shit out of his ass. He's speaking from his mind. Right. So I need y'all to understand all crimes are commercial. So let's just start there. But we're not talking about court cases and crimes. But it seems like I got a lot of people that keep asking about court. Y'all, which y'all want to run or something? So look, all crimes are commercial. 27 CFR 7211. But I need y'all to understand when he's saying bond. So like, I'm gonna pull up a warrant for instance. So look up the definition of stock warrant. That's all a warrant is. I want y'all to see this. The stock warrant represents the right to purchase a company's stock at a specific price at a specific date. Just like when you look up bank definition.
Because your name is a business.
Yeah, your name, everything you do, your name is it's a business. It's a title.
Yep.
The social security number is a real trust.
There's a warrant
made for the public. It's not even made for your benefit, to be honest with you. And that's why they're fucking you over with it. But you gotta learn what's going on behind the scenes. But I need y'all to know, when y'all hear bonds, he said you get securitized in bonds. So you automatically think of court. Bond is evidence of a debt, something that needs to be repaid.
Yep.
I just want to throw that out there. This shit
Yeah.
works with everything. Everything you're doing is getting securitized. Your whole life is being securitized.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Your whole life.
your debt, your credit card, your student loans.
Your electric bill.
Yeah, electric bills. You know,
You
it's
flip a
all
light switch on, you just securitized it. Damn
Yeah,
it.
absolutely. Light switch. There you go.
Hey, you can't even. You turn the water on.
Yeah, when you
can't
shop
do nothing.
online.
You got a Wi-Fi bill.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Everything.
You know, I like to joke sometimes, and you know, it was it's funny because it was you know, that movie, I forgot the name of it, with the two brothers that are they're like bank robbers, and then there's like the sheriff, the Texas sheriff, and then the Native American guy who's also a sheriff. And the Native American guy says, well, we're chasing these two bank robbers, and they're robbing from the banks. And he's like, well, you know, the Native American guy says, well, you guys took our land, right? You guys took our land from us, and
Hell or high water.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I like the crazy brother character in that movie. He's just like so like out of it, like he's like
Right.
he just gets out of jail. Yeah, so the Native American goes, you know, you guys took our land from us, and built these banks, and now the banks are taking the land from you, right? Because the banks were like
That's deep.
yeah. So I just find that interesting. But you know, if you guys realize, you know, the bond, going back to the bond, you know, governments issue bonds. You know, the government, federal government, the state government, the municipal bonds are big. So I recommend you guys on the chat and in the meeting to look to research municipal bonds. Now here is the screenshots that I was mentioning, and if you look, it's a lot of technical data, but you know, this kind of shows you some of the numbers involved. You know, you kind of have to go through it a little bit, but I was actually when I started in the industry, I was a researcher, so I would actually go in behind these screens because I'm a software engineer, and I would actually go into the databases, and line by line I would look at things, and that's how I learned about this industry, and how the securitization works on the database side, and how the data streams and how they feed the databases. So, you know, a lot of this is technical information. You know, this is kind of showing you the bonds, the profiles and stuff. But, you know, a lot of people like those screenshots. But just to answer Johnny Gonzalez's question, you know, public or private, you know, you can utilize the information we give you either or. You know, the thing about what we do is we're giving you information, we're giving you reports, and how you use it on your end is really at your discretion. I know people that have used it in both ways. You just have to kind of know how to word things and address it if you're on the public or on the private. But regardless, the information that we give you is the information we give you. It's a tool that you can use in many different ways. For the court cases, I mean, yeah, you know, and the thing about that is it's just how you use it, you know. So the utilization part of it, you know, when I tell people, look, I give you the information, and then you kind of take it from there. There's just so many different ways you can use it. That's why education is important. That's why, you know, signing up with Don and getting on his classes is important to educate yourself, you know, especially when you get the reports, you know, and to how you're going to go about doing it, which direction you're going to take. And don't get me wrong, there's so many different ways you can use it, and not only just one way, you know, there's multiple ways. So you might use it one way to make a claim, or you could use it another way to do you know, some people do mediation, some people do straight lawsuits. There's no end to how you can use it, you know. So there's just so many different ways you can use it. Now, sometimes when people get big settlements, okay, you know, they will have the person sign a gag order. You know, they will have NDAs signed, and where people can't talk about specifics about the case. So that's another thing. So, you know, when that happens, and, you know, it's like they don't want it going too public, you know, with people getting wins. I mean, just think about, when was the last time you heard on the news that somebody in your city, you know, won against a bank or a lender? You know, even though you can go look up the cases, you know, it's something that's kind of hush hush in a way. Not to be conspiratorial, but it's just the way it is. But you do hear about the class action lawsuits. The class action lawsuits, they can't really hide those. But there's just so many lawsuits against the lending institutions. And, you know, we've been knee deep in it. You know, I've been at this for 15 years, and I've just heard so many different stories. But I always get happy when I hear people have successes, because I just kind of like, I like to view myself just like Don, like as a Robin Hood, right? A man that's for the people. Like, I want to be for the people. I want to be for the trenches, and I want to be approachable. And, you know, I made the conscious choice years ago not to join the banking side. You know, I could have been an executive. I tell people I could have been smoking $100 cigars, atop a high-rise building with a bunch of other executives, you know, but I wouldn't have been happy with myself. You know, I wouldn't have been happy. And I made the choice to be with the people, help the people. And yeah, it altered my life, you know, and the banks don't like us. The executives don't like us. But you know what? It's one of those things where you have to stand up, you know, for what's right, you know, and you read, like I read history, and you read about these great people that stand up to injustice, and, you know, and you know, that's basically what I was inspired by. Like I was like, you know what, I'm going to take this road, and this is what I want to do with my life. And I never turned back. And that's why I love what Don's doing. He's a man of the people as well. You know, I love what he's doing with his classes. And I always feel like education liberates people. Educating yourself liberates the mind, and frees you from financial, you know, bullying, and in a way being financially enslaved. So when you're empowered, and you know, like all this tax stuff that he teaches, it's a lot of empowerment. And that's one of the reasons why I give away my free kit to the public. My free kit is about 10 years of my career of collecting templates and letters and things that you will not find anywhere. And I give that away free to the public. And I have a training course that I give free away to the public, because I believe in educating people, because educating people is part of the empowerment, and part of liberating people's minds, and to educate them, and so that they could benefit their lives, and hopefully have a beneficial result from what we're doing, whether it be our education or whether it be our reports, you know, whatever we're doing. So I just wanted to kind of put that out there. And I know, you know, my heart, Don, and I just want them to know as well where I'm coming from as well.
You're a hardworking man. You're a hardworking man, just like me.
Yeah,
he answers y'all's questions. I don't, though. So, Bo, I'll make y'all book a consult. I'm gonna answer your questions about this stuff. So I just want y'all to understand. I want y'all to see something. Y'all said he said he's fighting for injustice. So obviously, y'all have to understand that securitization is illegal. Well, it's not really illegal, but they're not giving you full disclosure.
Right.
You know, so that terminates the contract. So when you look at fraud, there's no statutes of limitation on fraud. So literally, there's ways to use these audits to get to put your claim in. He calls it a claim. That's all it is. You're putting in a claim. And you have to understand this. I put in a claim for defamation of character. When you understand nationality, quit calling me white, quit calling me black. I come from a tribe, or I come from a nationality. Go ahead, Henry. What's your question, man?
Yeah, I got a question for Sean. I was gonna call you on the side, but I was like, I'll just wait for today. Maybe someone else can pick up on something. I know you. I did some research on your website after getting in contact with you, and you talk about the big three that you were just talking about now. Yeah. But I know the thing that we're going after is a Robinhood account that has been closed because Don has guided me into doing that, which is great. Is it kind of like the same thing with that, with the big three? You're just going to do that with the Robinhood account as well?
Yeah. So it's the same concept, you know, with different companies, you know, different companies out there that are invested or securitized. We look into that, and you find that information. So, you know, obviously that kind of falls out of the big three, but we call those special use reports. So whether it be a business loan, whether it be a company somebody's invested in, you know, we can find the data. So it just doesn't matter what the company is, especially a company of that stature. You know, we'll find a CUSIP number, we'll find something associated with it. I call it associated CUSIP, and then we'll elaborate from there. But yeah, it's obviously we're mainly known for our mortgage audits, because that's when we started the company. That was mainly what we're doing. And then a lot of cases that we're involved in, a lot of situations. And then, you know, the auto and the credit we added later because it was the same concept that people were asking us for it. But yeah, in your case, I wouldn't worry too much. It's the same concept. It's just a different flavoring.
Okay. Yeah. And then when you like build the packet and stuff like that, like the way you build all the other packets, and you take it to their designated areas, you're going to take it like to Robinhood and then handle that kind of discretion, or?
Okay, so we'll give you the report and the information, and then basically, you know, we'll refer you like to Don or others that can help show you how to use it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Me and Don are already rocking. So.
Okay, wonderful. Yeah. Did you have a chance to look at our free kit? Download some of the stuff on there?
Yeah. I've definitely been researching now. I was just like, I'm doing something different here. But you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Well, you still got to show me, tell me about those trading tips, man.
Oh yeah, definitely. I got it.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, that's a perfect example of where we have clients that come to us that are asking us something outside of what we're known for, but we really can do anything. I mean, there's really very few things that we can't do, but mostly pretty much anything, like if you have a special request, you think it's outside the box, just go ahead and contact us, even if it's a business loan or if it's maybe something in the past you have, or some type of document, as long as we have some type of document to start our research on, we'll be okay. Like even with mortgages. Yeah, even mortgages, like people ask me, oh, can you do from the past? Yeah, I mean, we've done audits for people's loans in the 90s because it's public record. We can pull the documents from title. And this guy didn't have his documents, so that's why he asked me that. So we actually pulled his documents from title. So he had a loan like in 1990 somewhere, wow. 1990s, the glory days, right? But 1990, and we pulled the documents and we did an audit for him, and he was going after the company, to make a claim. So, for mortgages, past, present, future, even if you are currently having a mortgage or if you're about to get one, we can also do an audit as well because they securitize right away. So I know we've had a couple of clients that actually paid us up front and they were like, hey, I just want to pay you up front. Just look at some of my documents and the disclosures and just tell me what you think. And then when I get the full loan, you do the audit. So we've had some people like that actually paid us before they got the mortgage. So you can do that as well. Same thing with auto loans. Now with auto loans and credit cards, we would need the documents from you because the auto loan, you have to have a copy of that, even if it's a past one, because we can't pull that. So if it's an auto loan, you try to get, if you don't have it, try to call them and get a copy. If not, then we just have you fill out a submission form and then we see if we can trace the data on a secondary way. But that's the thing about that. But for mortgages, if you just have a property address, we can actually do the audit. Yeah. So that's kind of how that works. But let me just see the questions here. Well, for securitization, as far as a factor in mass incarceration, I mean, the thing is, if you look at the prison industry, right, and you see that, like, percentage of these prisons are actually privately owned, right, and they have contracts with the state, which I actually found this out a couple of years ago, and I was like, yeah, and they had these two guys, the two prison owners that were being interviewed, I think on ABC or something, and they were like, yeah, this law that I think there was some law that it was letting people out of prison or something, and they were like reducing people's sentences, and the guy was like, well, this is bad for us because this is our business, and the guy was the owner of the prison, the two guys, right? Wow. So yeah. So if you look at the privatization of something that is a prison, so a prison is you're taking people and you're putting them inside of a prison and you're holding them in there, and then like my friend used to joke, is they force you to work right inside the prison. You got to work and do something. They're paying you what is it like? What is it, $1 an hour? Isn't there? What is it?
Well, it depends on where you at. Sometimes it's 13 cents an hour.
Oh, is it really?
Missouri state tip, if you got your GED or high school diploma, it's $8.50 a month. And then if you don't have it, it's $7.50 a month. $850? Yeah, just starting off. Yeah.
Oh my God. And so then they make you work. And then not only that, you have incarceration, you have a case number that is attached to that person in the prison. So then that case is then being securitized, is then being collateralized. So yeah, as far as it being connected to the prison model, I mean, I wouldn't say directly, but obviously it has a factor in as far as, feeding the privatized prison system, right? So as far as the privatization side goes, I'm not talking about the state one, but the state ones do get subsidies from state, but the private prisons, obviously they're making money from having people in their prison, right? So obviously that's something that you have to consider when every you're looking at the securitization, because if they're securitizing on one end, and on the other, they're also, making money off of the human beings as well, which is wrong, right? It's not right, and there should be reform, in my opinion. And that's what I always advocate for, things being done legally and lawfully. I'm not saying there should be a revolution or anything, but a revolution of information of the mind. So everything that I say, I'm just saying it in as far as I would personally say that, look, there should be reform. There should be prison reform, and they should look at these things. And if somebody is being incarcerated for petty crimes, and they're in there and they're being separated from their families, then I personally think that, they should be released and they should be sent back to their families, right? And if it's not a serious crime or things like that, I mean, if you look at some of the financial crimes that I've seen, some of the white collar, where somebody steals, millions of dollars, and they get a couple years in prison, or they get 6 months probation, and then somebody punches somebody on the street because the guy was insulting, his wife, and then that guy gets like 20 years. I think there's something wrong with that, right? With that disparity, that day and night with the system. So I always advocate for reform, and you got to remember, I am for the people. So I do advocate for the consumer and for the people. But to answer Jay Phillip, the documents for a credit card, each particular request that we get requires certain documentation. So basically, for a credit card, it would just be, we would need a copy of the monthly statement. And then when you send the email, when you open up the credit card, because we need to know when the credit card was open. But you can contact us directly as well. We have processors that deal with that. So when you do place an order with us, the processor will reach out to you, and they'll let you know which documents we need, which is pretty simple. Let's see. Oh, somebody said the prison stock is also traded on the stock exchange. See, so some of the prisons have stocks that people can invest in. So it's a publicly traded entity, so you have that side of it as well. So, it's pretty concerning in some of the stuff you see, But yeah, any more questions? If you guys have, I'm just going through the chat here. But it's like, it always connects back to the money. I say, I mean, I've been working since I was 16 years old, and I remember my teacher told me one time in high school, she's like, you guys better enjoy your high school years, because you're going to be working for the rest of your life, right? And I was like, we were like, what is she talking about? But it's true. When you're in such a system, capitalism and free enterprise capitalism, and you see the securitization and you see the amount of money they're making. I mean, let's face it, when we sign up for that auto loan, we're on the hook for that payment for the next 5 years, and you sign that mortgage. A lot of people have 30-year mortgage, so it's like you're on the hook, right? So you have to, it's working, and it's paying interest. But here's a way where we can actually challenge that and say, well, look, if you really own my loan, are you really securitizing it? Are you really selling my loan? Then how does that relate to me, you enforcing it? So, that's why what we do is so popular, because it opens up the eyes of the consumer, and it shows, look, we're working hard, paying all these payments. Well, where are all these payments going? Where is this debt going? What happened to this debt? It's being sold. It's being securitized. It's being monetized. They're making millions of dollars on the back end. And, when you miss a payment, you get all these letters about how you missed the payment. They mess your credit up. And, it's just, the system is designed that way, and I believe in reform. There should be some more reform in it as well. To answer Dee's question, in the mortgage audit, the mortgage audits, we have different packages. The main audit we are known for is the securitization audit, that shows like how many times the loan has been sold, transferred, securitized, shows the collateralization. I'd recommend going on our website and looking around some of the videos and the sample report videos to get kind of familiar with some of our packages. But we do have different variations of the report. Keep that in mind. We have different pricing and different tiers. But anybody that mentions Don, all of Don's subscribers, all of you guys get a discount on anything you do order with us, and you get our free kit. So just keep that in mind as well. Somebody asked, so they bought a car. So you're saying, when a debt is, so a car loan is a debt, right? So that debt is then the finance contract, a security instrument is a contract. So then it's being sold, transferred, and securitized on the secondary market. So they're making money off of the contract, which is the debt is connected to that. So yeah, the debt is being sold in a sense. And yeah, right. It's lack of disclosure, right? Now, Now, when you're signing your documents, sometimes it'll mention it in there. There'll be a disclosure in there that says that they're going to transfer it or sell it, but not to the full extent of what they're really going to do. You know, it doesn't tell you they're going to make millions of dollars. It doesn't tell you to a pool of that $50 million bond or $500 million bond. And it's kind of mentioned very innocently. So, you know, that's one of their defenses. Well, we did mention it, but it's not really to the full extent. So, you know, and yeah, so if you get the report, then you could use it in that process, right? And then other question here, Ivan, when the securities of market does? Well, you see what happens is, again, lack of disclosure. And then also when they're securitizing it, okay, there's a lot of procedures that they have to follow. Now, a securitization trust, a bond, has what is called a prospectus and a pooling and service agreement. So in the prospectus and pooling and service agreement, there is actually a procedural area that shows how a loan is supposed to be securitized properly or how it's to be transferred around. And many times they actually violate their own prospectus and bylaws. So that's one of the ways it falls under that fraud. But also, like, for example, when a mortgage is securitized, it's a general accepted compliance regulation that they actually have to file an assignment or they have to securitize the loan within 90 days of the origination of the loan, of the mortgage date. Okay. So sometimes they don't do that. Sometimes it falls after the 90-day period for whatever reason. They didn't want to securitize into that loan for tax reasons, or maybe they were just waiting. And so what happens is sometimes they'll file an assignment at the county a year later. And then again, that would be a violation of that compliance if you have to file an assignment within 90 days. And that even mentions that in their own prospectus, in their own bylaws, that they have to file an assignment within 90 days of a securitization trust. So like, for example, to give you another example, Ivan, if you look up Remic tax status. So some securitization trusts have what is called a Remic tax status. So that means that particular securitization trust that has that label is getting huge tax breaks from the IRS. So in order to maintain that status of having a Remic securitization trust, they have to follow the procedures of the Remic, and they have to keep proper record keeping and things of that nature. So we had a couple of files where we found it was a Remic trust and they had violated their procedures. So what happened was these particular loans were not properly securitized, were not following proper Remic regulations and compliance rules and regulations. So those particular audits pointed that out for the consumer, and the consumer used that as leverage against the bank and the securitization trust. So if that particular securitization trust or bank gets reported to the IRS, it could lead to a fine. In some extreme cases, it could lead to them losing their Remic tax status, and they don't want to lose that. So that puts leverage on them to try to get the situation resolved. You have to remember, a lot of things that are pointed out in the reports are used as leverage. But I hope that gives you an example of the actual fraud and the compliance regulatory issues where we catch them all.
We'll be back after a quick break.
All right, go.
I'm rocking with Don Kilam.
Let's go.
Yeah, thank you for that. I did just want to you real quick, because this question in particular is due to I have a property that I bought through an LLC, and I've had it for about a year now. But I've got like 3 or 4 letters in the mail during the time process saying that the servicer, the loan's been sold and bought and sold to a different servicer. So the initial loan that I got was with a certain company, and they sold to a different company, sold to a different company, and a different company. So like when you were talking, I was like, I wonder if this falls underneath that process of securitization. And then I knew that through it. I don't know if there's a difference between having a mortgage in the personal or in an LLC in terms of trying to, basically arbitrate or get a claim back. So it was interesting, but I never heard of securitization explained it the way you did, but I just was curious if that would fall underneath that umbrella.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, it definitely does. So whether you got it in your personal name or your LLC, that's fine. So on the back end, there's still going to be securitization. They're still going to transfer and sell the loan. The thing is, basically with that, when they're transferring your servicer, we call that a major indicator. So whenever they're transferring your servicer around multiple times, and I've seen this with some files where it would be transferred to one servicer and then gets transferred to another and then it goes back to the original. Sometimes that could be an indicator of fraud where they found something, or maybe there's a securitization thing, because they check too on their end. And there could be something going on the back end when one servicer doesn't want it, or they've flagged it, and then on the back end as being something along the lines of fraud, and then they send it back to the other servicer. So that's we call that a major indicator. So an indicator of it being sold, transferred, securitized, especially if they're transferring the servicer around multiple times. Like how many times did they transfer your servicer?
I believe they transferred the servicer 3 times, and I think the loan was sold about 4 times. The last time the loan was sold, it stayed with the same servicer, but a different company was holding the note.
Oh, I see. Okay, yeah, that could be an indicator where one of them is holding the note and it's been sold and transferred, and maybe the other company doesn't have a proper record keeping of the note that they bought. That could be a lot of things. I'd recommend contact me directly. I'll take a look at it for you.
Hey, definitely. Yeah, definitely reach out.
Yeah. I'll look at your docs and I'll let you know what it is. One of the things about the lives, I'll be honest with you guys, I don't like to mention specific banks. I kind of use fictional names, but because they've been known to look at my videos and stuff. So, but we got through that phase. But as you know, the banks don't like us. You know what I mean? So,
I want to say something real quick, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Somebody was saying something about a car. If anybody could look on the SEC, you can look up these companies, all these car loans and stuff like that with the servicers and stuff like that. And in your contract, when they talk about the security interest and repossession, and all that, they put that in your contract. And then on the SEC and these 8Ks and 10Ks, they're pledging all of those rights into the trust that they sell the loans to. So that's why, and then the people who actually repossess or foreclose, those are who the servicers are, but they have a depositor that sells it to the trust and stuff like that. So everything that you're saying, dude, is 100% facts. I've seen it with my own 2 eyes.
Yeah, I appreciate that. It sounds like you've done your research. Yeah, you can go on the SEC, do some research, and find out about it. And one of the things you said, the depositor, right? The depositor is responsible, has certain functions, depositing the documents. Now, another thing, like with the custodian. Now, these are called the transactional parties. So transactional parties are the parties involved on the securitization. We like to call it back end. So the prospectus will show that. Sometimes you have to dig a little deeper on the terminal to find this information. But like the depositor is a function of the securitization trust. We call that a transactional party on the back end. Another example would be like the trustee, the indentured trustee, the custodian. Like the custodian has the function of keeping records. So keeping the records, keeping the databases, things like that. So when we audit it, we can audit and find out who the custodian is. Sometimes there might be a record keeping error. They might have a record keeping error on the securitization side. And then sometimes that could be leveraged against them where, they don't have a proper record of the securitization, or there's some type of fraud involved, or maybe they did something funny. So, there's a lot of things like that. But yeah, thank you for that comment. I appreciate that.
Also, I want to add one more thing. If anybody wants to do the research, you can go on Google, just type in, like, for instance, Mercedes Financial Trust, and then look up S&P Global. It'll show up like a PDF, and on the PDF, it'll say transaction structure. It shows you everything, like from servicer to depositor to the trust and the indentured trustee, owner, all that good stuff, y'all. Just FYI.
Yeah, absolutely appreciate that. Yeah, thank you so much. King the Fresh. So basically, if your loan hasn't been paid off, basically what I would say to that question is, when people that get the auto loan audits, they're making claims, right? So let's say if you're, I know somebody who was making a claim for his loan balance. So technically he was like, well, I want my loan balance in a check form, or I want damages. So it really is at your discretion at what you want to go after. And how much, how many steps or the amount of work you want to put in. Like, obviously, the more somebody asks for, it's going to be more work, right? So it's relative to each person. But I always tell people it all starts with the report. Let's see here. And unions, securitized. Yeah. Well, unions. Well, I mean, I would say credit unions, but credit unions are a little different. Yeah. So like credit unions, like the federal credit unions or other ones, sometimes you'll get a credit union that's a local credit union. Sometimes you get a state one. Sometimes you get a national one. Credit unions operate a little differently from banks, okay, but we can still get the data. Usually credit unions will sell it to their own subsidiary, so their own trust that they have made. But it's just a different type of flavor. It's a different style than a big bank would securitize. It's just a little different because credit unions operate differently. But it's all the same concept, right? Profiting off of the debt, profiting off of the loans, securitizing or selling, transferring. So it all goes back. I remember, when I was started in finance in 2006, somebody was telling me a story in my early career about one of the lenders, and there was a room inside one of the lending companies that were lending consumer loans, mortgages primarily. And they said it was a room. It was a secondary market room in the building, and then there was a bunch of guys in there on software programs. And what they would do is when the loans would get funded, they would take the folders in there, they put it on their desk, and then they would take the loans and put it into the software, and they would package them up and sell them to other banks, or they would sell them into securitization trusts. So there was actually a room in the lender where people were doing it, kind of like a boiler room. I mean, not to that extent, but it was kind of like, they're in there and they're packaging and selling loans to other banks and on the secondary market. So, it was funny because people really didn't even mention it to me that much when I was working in finance. It was lightly mentioned. And again, it's just one of those things that it's not really that publicly known. Like if you ask your family, like how many of them really know about securitization? How many people out there know that their credit card, like a lot of people have credit cards, right? Like, okay, not everybody has a mortgage, but most people have a credit card, and most people don't even know about the securitization relating to the credit card. Not everybody has an auto loan, but a good percentage of people have auto loans. But a lot of them still, even to this day, it surprises me how many people do not know about the selling and securitizing of their auto loans. So it's still just one of those things where it's just building awareness, and even to this day, there's still a lot of room out there, a lack of people knowing this on a wide scale, because they don't teach this at the university, right? So it's like, we have to set up our own universities and teach this, right? So, but yeah, any final questions or any comments, I'd be more than happy to answer before we start.
I'm just excited to see where this goes.
Absolutely. Thank you.
I'm excited.
Yeah, everything you said was very it is what it is. You can't really refute it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I try to stick to the facts. I try to make it in a way where people can understand, because there is a lot of technicalities that go into it on the back end, Yeah, I try to make it where it's like if I'm talking, I'm trying to communicate to a wide audience so everybody can understand. Because I know in the past, sometimes I'll get too technical, but I can get way more technical if I want, but I try not to. I always tell people, get on the free kit, get on the free course that I have and kind of go through that. But for those of you who have are just curious or you are interested in our services, I definitely recommend to go on the website first. Look at the videos. Please watch the presentations before you get on a call with me. And then you can schedule a call right on the website. I am available Monday through Friday, and the calls are free consultations. And I do love talking to you guys. But yeah, I definitely recommend, please. It would save us both a lot of time if you guys watch the videos first.
Yeah, free kit.
There's lots of videos on there. There's so many.
Well, you don't have to watch all of them, but just try to watch the main ones.
Yeah. I'm just letting you know there's a lot of great information.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kit you're talking about, is that on the website or did I get sent?
Yeah. So look, I'm gonna show you the website right now. MortgageAuditsOnline.com.
Yeah. So if you go under download and then go under free securitization course. Yeah, and then scroll down, and there's a link right there. Oh no, that's too down. Go up, right in the middle.
Purple.
There's a link right there. StopForeclosureFraud.com. Educational kit. Yeah.
Wow.
The link right below, in the middle.
I got you. I'm putting it in the chat, everybody.
Okay. So that link, when you go on there, there's a password, and the password right there is MAO35. And that's basically our national Stop Foreclosure Fraud website. So that website, the stopforeclosurefraud.com, it's a resource, a free resource that I kept for the public. You can go on there, you can read depositions. Okay. It's all built for the consumer. You can pull databases of robo-signer signatures on documents. You can pull up cases that people have won or settled out in favor of the consumer. The free courses on there. There's a lot of free resources on that website. It's a very high traffic website as well. So we get a lot of people going on that website. And that's something that I kept for free for you guys as well. But that website is ours. It's our organization. It's a nonprofit type of online organization. And basically it's there as a free resource. And this is the free kit. So a lot of the stuff you see here is manuals, it's letters you can use, and you could use it freely. You could even share this link with your friends and family.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's absolute massive resource. And below you'll see the videos. And these first ones are the ones that I teach, and it's all free. You could learn. There's also another I talk about the terminal and the contracts and the verbiage. Some other presentation videos in there, and then at the bottom there's some other course stuff from other people as well. But it's just a massive resource, and I give that away free to you guys. It is a lot, so I'm not saying you guys should go through all that before you contact me, but I just maybe go through some of it, But you want to start on the main website and just kind of watch some of the presentations and the sample report so you can see what a report looks like, and then kind of go from there. But yeah, I'm more than happy to talk to you guys. Schedule a call on our website. Today, this week, anytime you're free, and then I'll call you or call me, and we can have a consultation over the phone and discuss the different options. But thank you so much for having me, Don.
Yes, sir.
If you guys need anything, please feel free to reach out to me. I love talking to Don's members and the people on his school. You guys are very smart, very articulate, and I really appreciate it. And just one thing I just like to touch on, before I leave, we get a lot of people that refer people to us, support us on Instagram and different stuff. There's some stuff going on out there between some different people on Instagram, and I always like to say, if you guys hear about that or anything like that, I always like to say, look, we're all on one side, regardless of what one person says about somebody else or anything like that. I always say we're on the consumer side. The banking side, the lending side is massive. Like, people don't understand the kind of power they have. And we as a people, I would say, especially some of these other people on Instagram, like we as a people, I think, Don, you know who I'm talking about, so some of these people on Instagram always say, look, and to the followers, we should all our ships should at least be sailing in the same direction. Any negativity on that end from when those people are saying, we need to remember that any negativity feeds the other side. It feeds the banking side. It feeds the financial bullying that we've seen over the course of centuries, and you get that negativity on there. It just feeds it. And I would say, to those negative people, try to focus that into educating others or something positive, so that we could all be all our ships should flow in the same direction, and we can all be on the same side, because technically we're all on the same side. And I just wanted to touch on, I think some of the people might know who I'm talking about, but I just want to leave with a positive message and make sure that people know where I stand. And I know, Don, you're obviously positive, you're great at what you do, but we get some people that are out there just I don't know what's going on with some of these groups, but I was telling them, like, look, we just need to just all try to stay positive, and I say, if you guys are going to refer stuff, great, just refer. But if there's people out there, negativity between each other, let's just try to, like, chill out on that, and let's just remember at the end of the day what we're doing, and it's freedom. It's getting people out of ignorance, it's getting people, awaken and educating people, and that's great that you're doing. And just wanted to leave with that thought. I love all you guys. I appreciate you guys. Reach out to me anytime. Anyone that comes from Don's camp, you guys will get a discount on anything you guys order. Yeah, feel free to reach out to me every time, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, he works with my people, man. So,
yeah, absolutely.
I hope that explains it all. He went above and beyond for me today, so I appreciate that. So to close it out, I do want to go over what I got a little bit from Gene Keaton. What opened up my eyes to securitization. It took me a while there's no way I could explain that like he explained it. It took me couple years to learn this. I don't know how long it took you, Equity. Because I know it's when Equity learned it, he just went full-fledged and into this shit, man. Equity's up there with us too, man.
Okay.
He's sitting at the round table with us, man.
Right, there you go.
Yeah.
Not Knights of the Round Table?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
What's up with Equity? You want to chime in on anything, man? Y'all can reach out to Equity too. He can assist if you have an audit. You get an audit,
Absolutely.
Equity can help you. He fights against the banks. He'll get your bank account unfroze. Get you in there, man. All of that, man.
Absolutely.
Hey, if federal shut you down, holler at my boy Equity, so he'll build you back up.
Yeah, Equity on real.
Yeah,
I hear you, Derek, over there.
I'm gonna go for you, man.
Hey, yo, appreciate it. Thanks for
you want to add anything, Equity?
I'll just say go check out his website. Bring you up to speed.
Hey, so Jay says she need help, Equity. So he is in the school as well. So so securitization is illegal. So that's the first time I've heard this from Gene Keaton. He's ill, so everybody pray for Gene Keaton. He's just getting old, man. So when you sign a mortgage, though, it becomes under UCC Article 3. It becomes a note. After securitization, it comes under Article 8. Under U.S. law, securitization is illegal because it is fraudulent. Instruments such as loans, credit cards, and receivables are securitized. It's double bookkeeping entry is what's going on too as well. These things are illegal. But almost all these large corporations are doing it as business. So it's all accounting, whether it's banking, civil, or criminal court. When you look up these FAS, these are under these are financial accounting laws. Financial accounting standards. Let me find out where I was back at. Okay. So these are the standards. A lot of people talk about UCC. I want to show y'all what I use. Instead of UCC, I would use Unidroid. And we find out what Unidroid is. And this is similar to a UCC, it's private law. Unidroid, forming the International Institute for the Unification of Private Law. And these are principles. They have principles. And the United States is part. Hold on, they closed down on me. My apologies, y'all. All right, hope y'all can see it. The United States is part Canada as well. The United States joined the Unidroid in 1964. This is what governs your marriage certificate. This is what governs your children, your car insurance. Unidroid. I ain't gonna get deep on that though. I'm just throwing out private law out there. So I want y'all to know there's different laws out there. There's different laws that govern your life. When you're dealing with securitizations, I would never go in talking about I'm a consumer. I would never use consumer law. You're not gonna get nowhere in life using consumer law with securitization. I mean, and that's how a lot of y'all are combating debt and trying to get remedy. You're not gonna get I'm just gonna throw some numbers out there that I know Sean has gotten. I know he's gotten 700,000 back, 400,000 back, some big ass numbers. You're not getting that back through arbitration and consumer law. You ain't never seen them motherfuckers post a check for $2,000-$3,000. I mean, I'll smoke that up, man. In 2 days. 2 days pounds. I don't need ounces now. Hey, shit.
One good night.
Shit, my whole cost $1,500 a night, goddammit. But look.
That's crazy.
So this is where I started learning about securitization. This is where I started learning about GAAP, General Accepted Accounting Principles. I mean, anytime you get a bill in the mail anyways, if it's not certified, it's not even a real financial statement. That shit is not a certified financial statement. When you get something put on your credit account, that is an account. Your credit report. You open up a credit card. That's an account. Bank account. Auto loan. That's an account. So they all follow under the general accepted accounting principles when they're operating with you in the public. So I just wanted y'all to see this. We go off the recoupments. In order to get a recoupment, as Sean stated, you have to place a claim. And starting off, that's why I make my name a business. That's how I operate, or have an unincorporated association for the family. Have the family make the claims because they own the intellectual property of the name that they're securitizing. Trademark your name, trademark your signature, trademark your thumbprint, because that's the shit they're using to open these accounts. So I just want to throw that out there. Y'all can do that, y'all's little reading on y'all's own. I hope that makes sense for everybody. If y'all got any questions for me, I'm here as well. But look, so he's showing you securitization is the process of transferring all the liabilities off the balance sheet. They can do this because you never asked for them. They have everybody kind and believing we are debtors instead of creditors and do not know how to ask for our assets. So those were the key words. They have you thinking you're a debtor instead of a creditor. A consumer is a fucking debtor. Excuse my language, but y'all don't understand this positive shit. Y'all gonna forget what Sean told y'all because he was being too kind to you motherfuckers. Y'all remember that tragic shit? Poor me. You hear me? So I'll be getting in y'all's ass. But y'all understand you're not a debtor. You're a creditor. So and we talk about secure party credit. That's what a lot of people talk about, right? Y'all have heard that term? Like y'all heard that term, secure party credit? So can you be a secure party creditor if you use consumer law?
No.
Thank you, Equity. Thank you, Equity. Fuck your guru.
Real shit.
Sean's about peace and love. We about peace and love, though. At least he's trying.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Oh, I like your style. I love it.
Hey, I just say I'm not with the consumer law shit.
Yeah.
This is accounting at its finest, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
They ain't talking about no securitization and no motherfucking consumer law, man.
Yeah, that's true.
This is the first thing you're supposed to be talking about.
Yeah.
How everything is getting securitized. He talked about the bonds. If you know about the bond, you have to get a bond to get out of jail, don't you? My word is my bond. I'll be damned if I allow them to extort me on my bond on the record. I'll be damned if they allow them to extort my word on the record. It's $1 million worth of game right there if y'all caught it.
For real.
Yeah, I make my name a business for sure. I trademark my name, signature, thumbprint. You want to do this with your family trust. I like to have a family trust. You heard they're secure. They're auditing trust. That's what I'm seeing. Ain't that right, Sean?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
So they're placing things in a pass-through trust. That's securitization, correct?
Yeah. Anytime there's a pass-through trust, there's securitization and collateralization. Absolutely.
Let's go.
Yeah.
I hope that makes sense that he's using some big words on y'all. I know, man. Y'all got to sound that shit out. Y'all ain't even got to say municipal, just say muni. So y'all understand. Listen, this shit gets deep, man. I don't want to take y'all for a whole, like when you look up the word county. So we talking about municipality. A municipality, a muni, a city is based off a bond. But I want y'all to see the word county. County belongs to, it's a jurisdiction of account, which is royalty. So all this shit is corporations is taking your royalty away. That's all that's going down. You signed up your royal rights for that Social Security number, and your ass is securitizing your royal heritage. It's as simple as that. That's how I look at it. Because you live in America, it's a free country. They get to do what they want because you don't know what's going on.
You see those social security numbers that are attached to those people that are like 300 years old and shit?
Hey, I seen that. No. But I seen that shit.
Okay.
He says, and then he drops us his plug down, you the GOAT. No. Sean wants to talk to y'all though.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just don't want him. If you're not at a certain level, I don't want y'all talking to him. So that's why I wanted to open up to the school. I only been giving them to certain people that I know that want to invest in their prosperity and understand literally what's going on or understand what's going on.
Just for the people, because I know they'll ask. But Sean, what's the turnaround for people that buy it like through you and stuff like that?
Yeah, it varies, depending on the bank. With our packages, each one has multiple reports. So like that's how we do it. We approach our packages. So like you'll get like most of the stuff within about a week or two, sometimes 3 weeks. And then the main report that shows the bonds, the collateralization, securitization can take longer because of the data. Sometimes the data and the research, it goes pretty deep. So it sometimes can take a little longer. But the preliminary stuff, but within a couple of weeks with the affidavit. Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, thanks for asking that. Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, I definitely, like Don said, I definitely want to talk to you guys. You guys can schedule a call on my website. The time slots you can pick, there are 15-minute time slots. And I think somebody's mic is on. But you could schedule a call right on our website. Everybody that schedules a call, they get the free kit delivered to their email. There's a bunch of emails that you'll get that you watch the presentations before the call. But yeah, just schedule a call right on my website, and then we'll talk to you throughout the week. So you can schedule a call for tomorrow and the rest of the week. Sometimes I do take calls on Saturdays as well. But yeah, feel free to, if you guys have any questions, contact me or email me anytime.
Yeah, man. I get nothing but good reports back about Sean.
Appreciate that.
I've been hearing about him before I even contacted him. We was in contact with each other. I was getting feedback about his services. So he's helped a lot of people over a number of years. So I've seen a lot of remedies. But like you stated, you got to know what to do with this. It's just a tool. So I know one of my brothers. And this was the missing tool that he needed to because he's suing over some cases that got dropped and things of that nature because everything was done illegally. And we used the paperwork, we got it dropped, but this was the missing piece that we needed to prove the fraud. I'm not gonna get too deep, but a lot of courts, the securitization, when things get securitized, even some of y'all payments, they get dropped into something called a 508c1a ministry trust, which is part of the Judges Association. So we're able to prove fraud, be able to get remedy, and I've seen one person get $3 million back off a court case. So,
damn,
yeah,
bro, that's some big
My
game.
man,
The judges have a
Sean.
508c1a.
Yeah, what was that?
Sean is about to become my best friend.
I'm everybody's best friend. Like to.
You were saying that the judges have a 508c1a?
Yes, the Judges Association. So a lot of people don't know where their money even goes. So anytime you pay the courts, you should get a check or a money order and just trace where it goes.
It goes to Puerto Rico.
That's part of this research. Having people that research for you too, they can do that for you too, I'm sure. So it goes all the way to Puerto Rico. Henry is correct. Yeah, Puerto Rico. So I've traced payments back to Puerto Rico 508c1a Judges Association Ministry Trust.
Be careful saying that in a court, though.
No, I'm not saying Sean did it or anything like that. I'm just telling you, hey, this is what we discovered. So when you trace this, you can get cases dismissed, and pretty much when you can't have fraud on the record. And the public, I need y'all to understand that they do this all behind the closed doors because y'all don't know what's going on. It's not fraud until you shine the light on it.
Don.
What? What's up?
Hey, so you're saying we can't go at this from the standpoint of a consumer because a consumer's still working with their Social Security number, and then the reason why, like I just joined your school last week. Yesterday, I incorporated my name, not incorporation, LLC my name. So you're saying now that if I use that EIN number as opposed to my Social Security number,
I ain't saying nothing about no EINs, brother.
Okay, well, all right. So maybe
what you think the Amish using, bro? Unincorporated Association. He's just talking about trust. They using pass-through trust. He ain't saying nothing about no EINs.
Okay, so what? How do we get out of the position of being a consumer?
Hey, so you can book a consultation, man. That's the whole point of status correction.
My man,
there's different ways, but you just start acting. You act as an investor. America is set up on free enterprise. I need y'all to understand that America is set up to protect the investor.
Be whoever you want to be.
Right.
So when you're creating something for consumption, you're an enemy of the state in their eyes.
And they come at you with the war power.
You're taking instead of adding, Consumers take.
Right. They consume.
Investors add to the community. They're creating a service for the humanity as a whole. That's what America is here to do.
Well, we automatically are the investor because they've used our credit, correct?
Well, it's not your credit. Social Security trust credit that you pledged your labor to. Your mother did that with the birth certificate.
Okay.
So you got to understand, she pledged her labor, which was you. If you go and control what you create, that was the given name and it was given to the state, not you. So you got to learn how to work for it and manage it.
The LLC.
Or the name.
The name, okay.
Don't necessarily have to be an LLC. I've seen people use sole props, CBAs, a lot of different things. Strictly the elite use trust and unincorporated associations.
So what if we didn't just do the LLC, which I already did? It's a done
So
deal.
you're
But
gonna need a book of consultation. I'm not getting deep into this shit, bro.
I respect that, Playboy.
Yes, sir.
All right, salam.
Yes, sir. Peace and love.
Peace and love.
I just want y'all to take this class to understand what's going on. Securitization. You understand securitization? Y'all can get out the aspect of being consumers and quit using that bullshit as consumer law. You talking about you private, but you still using codes and statutes. This shit don't make sense to me. Code and statutes for the public. That's public law. Anytime you hear the term public, that means government. Public defender, public housing, public assistant. That's the government. The private sector is a part of the economy that the government does not control. So learn how to operate in the private correctly, because that's what the fuck they're doing. And they're getting rich. You know, it's just simple as that. The Amish securitize shit too. They're not using no social. Jewish people, Mormons, the Catholic Church, all of them securitize shit. The billions and billions of dollars. And I show people this all the time. Yes, I do have books on securitization and making a name of business. But I want people to look up things. This is all through securitization. They do the same thing like with the birth certificate, when people securitize things. These private sectors do the same thing. Mormons, I'm about to show y'all. It's a $1 billion industry, man. $1 billion industry.
Everyone needs to read that Word is Bond book.
Appreciate you. That breaks down how they securitize the courts. And then how you can access your bonds. But y'all see this. $265 billion. That's the Mormons' net worth. So I just want to throw that out there when y'all start learning securitization and private business. They do business with each other. They securitize each other's agreements. So I just want, they have their own government. They have their own munis, their own municipal bonds. So I just want to throw that out there, man. I hope that makes sense for everybody. Unincorporated association is private, motherfucker. It's unincorporated. And I'm not answering none of this. This is about securitization. I'm not answering y'all's questions. Y'all better take y'all ass into school, read the motherfucking books, sit your ass down when a real nigga talk and take notes. Shut the fuck up. I'm getting crazy with it now. If you don't know what an unincorporated association is, you need to go back to square one. You don't even need to try to see what securitization is. But get the basics down, take your notes, and go back and study what you need to study, one thing at a time, Playboy.
All right, one other question. So we're looking at it from the perspective of what they've done to us as far as or our information as far as securitization. Now you're saying that the Mormons and all those other organizations, they do their own private securitization.
Yes.
So now that's something that we need to also investigate to see how, or you're saying on
if that's what you choose, if you want to be a billionaire, you're gonna have to learn securitization.
All right. So now does that put us at risk? Like you said, Gene Keaton said, I saw what you put in the chat, on the screen, and he said it was illegal. Now I was booked for 26 years. I ain't for it no more, man. I'm really, I'm just trying to get on.
Hey, I dig what you're saying. It's illegal because it's fraud, because the people were not made aware.
So we can still do this and make people
all parties
aware.
know what's going on. It's not fraud. There's no one in the dark.
Okay, that's there. That clarifies.
Legally is, there's nothing. You're signing these things saying they can do it. So it's really a legal contract. Because you didn't have clarity of what's going on. So that's why they're saying it's fraud. But in all reality, it's legal.
We played ourselves.
Yeah, you played yourself. You signed up for the shit. You signed that security agreement and promissory note. The security agreement is what gives them the means to securitize that agreement.
So you played yourself doing.
You played yourself.
But that 26 years, I'm coming to get some of that back, man. We're not playing.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm bringing this out for y'all to understand.
I know that's why you bring that. That's why
I'm telling you. Listen, Sean's team is gonna get y'all signed affidavits. That's what y'all get.
All right, now listen. Shout out. You always want you a shout out. Shout out, Don Kalong. God damn, baby, you put us on. Feel me? Thank you, man.
But yeah, I don't want y'all to think it is illegal. Okay, he's saying it's illegal because no one. In order for a contract to be lawful, all parties must fully comprehend what's going on.
Full disclosure.
Full disclosure. There you go. And if you knew that a motherfucker was gonna make millions or billions of dollars off you signing this contract, you would want your cut.
Exactly.
So that's not full disclosure. They didn't let you know.
All right. So, but if you and I enter into an agreement, a contract, and I told you that I was going to securitize this debt because a contract is a debt, right?
Right.
So if I told you this is what I was going to do, and on the back end I went ahead and kicked you half of that, it would be legal, and I wouldn't have to be looking over my shoulder. All right.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Good enough, man. Thank you, man. You put me on.
So I want you to know, even churches securitize these baptismal certificates. A lot of people don't understand that these churches securitize these baptismal certificates. You undergo a status correction anytime you get baptized within the church. So that's how these churches are getting paid on the back end. That's why the Catholic Church is $1 billion industry, because they're using the birth certificate. It starts all the way. I'm not gonna get deep, man, because I can't really clarify all this for you. But I just want you to know, that's where it starts.
Who owns your labor?
My man. And the interest, all that interest, that got to come back.
That's what the name of the game is for. Is the interest.
I kind of figured that much. I've been reading like nonstop. Like your site, man, your school. Man, come on. I mean, for real, yeah, you could be asking for $500 to $1,000 a month for that. All the information on it.
I feel you. I'm just, it's not for everybody. So if you understand it, you're gonna, and then you're in the community, you get the shit. Now you connected with people like Sean. I just want you to know I got a super team. I'm working with high, powerful individuals. And Sean has definitely helped some of those individuals, some of my celebrity friends. So it definitely means a lot that he's legit. And he goes above and beyond. So
hey Don, I got a question. Since you kind of hit on the baptismal certificate, would we be able to trace that back in the securities?
Baptismal, I don't know. You might have to ask him.
If you're Mormon.
It depends. You just need a number, case number or something.
Yeah, we should be able to. Yeah, just send it over to me in the email. Contact me, and then when you contact me, just put that in the notes, and then I'll send you the email where to send it. I'll take a look at it for you.
So all churches not all churches securitize them, but most of them do. So I just want you to know, there has been churches that I've been to that don't do it at all, and that's probably one of them broke churches that ain't got no money.
You're funny.
But if it's
I'm just being honest. Right next to the liquor store. The church right next to the liquor store.
But if it's mega church, it's like
He's stupid.
Praise Jesus.
Oh, funny man.
Shaka Lama, Shaka Khan. All that. Tongues, you feel me? I'm Pentecostal and Methodist. My eyes been opened. You feel me? Y'all got any more questions, man? I'm gonna call it a night, man. Sean went above beyond. I appreciate you, man.
Sean, thank you so much, bro.
Hey, man, he gonna do his motherfucking job. Y'all come to him. He gonna go above and fucking beyond for y'all. So just know that.
Yeah.
Ain't no fugazi.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I love talking to you guys. I love teaching and being on these lives, and I look forward to speaking to all of you soon. Appreciate it. Thank you so much for having me.
I'm gonna put his information in the school for everybody. They can reach out to him, and that free course kit, the free kit. Put that in the school for everybody. But if you want to access to the class, I think it's $10 to get the replay. So just go to it's gonna be in the classroom.
But we send $10, we can get a replay for this?
Yeah, the replay's in the school.
Oh, my man.
It's gonna be $10.
My man.
But his information, his website, I'm gonna post all of that for everybody to have.
Yo, Don, you the go.
He better get ready.
Hey, are we ready? Like it's the Super Bowl.
All right, they're about to come.
All right, appreciate it.
They're coming. Well, all right, man. I appreciate y'all. Thank you again, Sean.
Thank you so much. Appreciate
Can't
it.
wait to see you in the shot,
Good
Don.
night.
Hey, I look forward to y'all. It's going down in Chicago.
Yes,
Hey, Court,
Peace and
man, I
love.
appreciate you. Hey, let's get Court on his Hey, Court, let me mute y'all. I'll mute Court. Cause he was the last person to get his shit pushed through without me. His shit went through pretty fucking easy. These attorneys been on my ass on these trademarks dealing with the trust, man. Hey, straight up, they've been investigating everything. Just it's been a struggle, bro. This last one I did 2 weeks in. I just got to push through.
That's because you disrupting the game, man. That's what happens.
Man.
You
So
disrupting,
Court
you
was
shake shit up.
basically he was the last one that was really able to get his name pushed through with ease. I'm just
I
like,
really
y'all
appreciate
know.
it, man, because
I'm in limbo, but your shit's we still gotta do our call. But so listen, here in the securitization, you can use him too.
I already know. I already saved
you run
everything.
that audit on your little situation. You got that showing everything is fried, bro. So you getting paid off me, trying to force me to pay you while you getting paid off me.
Yeah.
You know? So usually like situations like yours, I throw the court in default. I go ahead and default the bonds and tell them to send the insurance because a bond is insurance, and tell them to go ahead and send the proceeds to my account. That makes sense because it's your case. It's your court case. So we put the court case in default, say we're not paying, and go ahead and send the insurance to right here to this account. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That's game, y'all. That's game. Every court case, if you have a court case, it's got bonds on it. I need y'all to know bond is like insurance. You can default these bonds because it's your court case. You can throw the bond in default and tell them to send the proceeds to you. I ain't gonna get too deep on y'all though. I don't gonna get too deep.
We need a book of consultation.
That's for child support. That's with child support.
Hey, like you say, prosperity is our divine birthright.
That's it, man. But y'all all good, man? Everybody good? I put stuff in the chat.
Drop another album.
Yeah, thank you, Doc.
We got some more for us, dog. Give us one more before you go, man.
And we're gonna be in Chicago too.
I would try to make this make sense for the homie that was on there. So unincorporated associations, that's what I teach. It's just 3 documents. Get a mission statement, a banking resolution, which shows who can open up the bank account, and then get your bylaws or your constitution. That's all the unincorporated association is. If it's a faith-based organization, it would be a 508c1a. But literally, if you have a private club, a private family, private membership association, you do not have to file with the Secretary of State. You can't set up an unincorporated association.
Yo, since you talking about it, bro, what about when they ask for EINs and stuff like that when you go to banks to open stuff?
You go get one. You don't know how to get an EIN without a social?
Oh yeah, of course I do.
All right, go get
Want the
one.
class?
Go get one.
Okay, I see.
Go get an EIN with no social. Or go have a holler at some girl on the street. Say, go open this up for me, make me a trustee.
Peace. So I was under the impression that and I'm still studying, still learning. I'm like mad new. So I was under the impression that an unincorporated association was going ahead and getting the DBA, you know what I'm saying, claiming the name.
Unincorporated association is a trust. All a trust is a private contract. Do y'all see this? It's an unincorporated association. No social, no nothing. I just had my homie go in there. Here's the information. I sent the paperwork where they can't ask none of my trustees for their social security number, nothing. You can't ask a motherfucker on my trust for anything.
You got templates for that unincorporated association in your school, right?
Yeah, I got the basic ones. Yeah. You want to tap into me, you want the real deal, though, shit. But that basic get you through. But once you start touching millions and shit, you need to do some different shit. You know, but I want y'all to know, the way I set it up, I got it where you don't have to ask for shit. They're not gonna ask anybody. You can set this shit up for anybody. You have your girlfriend go in there and set that shit up. Say she the main person. She liable for the shit. But and they'll send you your cards and everything. They're gonna give the cards to her. Have your whole name on that bitch. You have a debit card printed off same day.
Oh, so this is what I got. I got the quick guide to redeem employee withholdings and garnishment. I got $1 million worth of game. Is there? I know at some point I'm gonna end up reading all your books. But I want to ask you: Is there anything else I think like I need because I'm a beginner?
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
financial freedom.
Financial
freedom by Don Kalam, and follow the yellow brick road. But financial freedom is going to break down GAAP law for you.
All right, bet. All right, I got that. Got it. Okay, bet.
Good book, the financial freedom, the
financial freedom and yellow brick road.
Namepreneur, the namepreneur, and the
the namepreneur going to show you how to do your taxes when your name's a business.
And what's the real thick one you had?
Namepreneur.
Or trusting your name to an LLC.
Yeah, trusting your name. Yeah, trusting your name as a limit. Yeah.
That's a hell of a book too, bro. Thank you.
Namepreneur.
This is the one y'all want though. That's gonna help you with the shit we talked about today. Financial freedom.
I got
for
that.
Private investors. Breaks down GAAP. And how to take the information that you're getting from him, you take it to the SEC, the FTC, the FDIC. There's a bunch of companies, and there's templates in the book that shows you what to do with it.
I have. It's a good book.
This is how you get these motherfucking this paper. I'm gonna show y'all somewhere else. I'm just gonna drop this game. I have not gave this out to the public whatsoever. So let's look up a GSA bond form. Let's look up a standard form 25 performance bond. That works. Standard form 25 performance bond. So let's look this up. You still with us, Equity?
I am.
So you see this right here?
Yes.
All these. So even IRS tax forms are created by the OMB. Let's look. Let's look up a W8BEN and see if that's got an OMB number. So I'm about to show y'all some game. Look, OMB number. Now remember what we said, Equity. You only control what you create, right?
Absolutely.
So these are the OMB forms. Management and budget.
Oh.
So this is who you, once you do your audits and stuff, you can follow shit directly with them. I'm not gonna keep giving you all this motherfucking game because y'all not ready. But Equity, you got it. Go ahead and get them bands back, bro. You're gonna get millions and millions of dollars back. Dealing with the Office of Management and Budget. I'm gonna show y'all who they are. Let me show y'all who they are. It's gonna fuck you up. This is not in the public, so y'all motherfucking welcome. Y'all better tap in and book a motherfucking consultation. Holler at your boy. Right. But look, Office of Man, what do they do? They oversee the performance of federal agencies and administers the federal budget.
Hey.
That's everything that you need. That's one of your missing links. That's what you need. Ain't nobody. Yeah. I just want you to know. You only control what you create. That's the rules of commerce. You got to holler at them and file shit with them directly.
Wow.
Everything you do, your audits, everything, send it to them directly.
Oversee the performance of federal agencies. That's the boss.
Not the real Rick Hamilton from the NBA.
He went too quick.
What's up, man? I ain't seen you since Detroit, homie.
My shit broke.
He said this shit broke. Equity, that makes sense though, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. I
learned to make dollars and cents.
I learned that from Lady P.
Oh, turn up. Oh yeah, turn up.
Hey, Donna.
Hey, what's good?
That we're gonna take the information after the audit comes back from
Yeah. And I'm gonna pay her so you can still talk to her though.
Oh, I called her today. She said let's reschedule for tomorrow at 4 p.m.
Yeah, she got a new number though. But I'm handling, you don't have to pay her. I'm handling that from your donation.
Oh yeah. I talked to her today.
Okay.
Yeah. We're gonna talk tomorrow.
I got 2 people. It's coming from me directly. So
damn, bro. I'm excited.
That's what's up, man.
I can't wait for Chicago, bro.
Equity's in the building too, man.
Yes,
sir. Who else coming to Chicago? Y'all better come, man. I got cash money in the building. I can't even tell you everybody I got coming in the building, man.
I want to come, but I don't want to get on no motherfucking plane, man. I might have to drive.
You better take the Amtrak. Better take you an Amtrak.
Exactly.
You don't look like no Greyhound nigga.
Hey,
Nah, hell
hey
no.
Don. Hey Don, if this whole thing goes through mad quick, I'm PJing it there. Fuck this.
Oh man, I'm going to come out in Greyhound to you and take the motherfucking jet with you, dog.
Let's go, man.
Yeah, we balling on a budget, man.
Let's go, man.
Take the motherfucking what's it called, motherfucking Flix bus.
Let's go, dog. If I had a Napa, bro, we get some wine and we jet, dog.
There you go, man. I got Pete. Did you get the Pete? You got the private jet class? From my
Oh
class?
yeah.
Yeah, you get the app right there, bro. You good to go.
Yeah.
All right, man. I appreciate y'all. This will be posted in the classroom tonight. Go to the school.com/Don Kilam, DonKilamSchool.com/Don Kilam. Most of y'all are there anyways. So I appreciate y'all. We're still doing consults for $500 for $500 for a half hour. So tap in. I'm only doing it for Black people because it's Black History Month. If you got a nationality, you should have some bag. So you should still drop me that $2 bands because you got a nationality, nigga. I love y'all, man. Much peace and love.
Peace and love.
Bye.
In a world where the tax system can seem overwhelming, one book is here to guide you towards financial empowerment. Introducing The Capitalizing Namepreneur, Unleashing the Power of Tax Credits by best-selling author Don Kilam. Are you looking to demystify the complexities of taxes and harness the power of tax credits? The Capitalizing Namepreneur provides an understanding of effectively utilizing your tax credits. Discover the secrets behind setting up a tax firm, understanding the strawman name, protecting your assets, and navigating the implications of the Social Security Trust Fund. Don Kilam's expertise shines through every page. It's like having a personal financial advisor by your side. Get your copy of The Capitalizing Namepreneur today and unlock the power of tax credits to enhance your financial well-being. Order your copy now and take control of your tax strategies. The Capitalizing Namepreneur, Unleashing the Power of Tax Credits by Don Kilam. Available now at leading bookstores and online. Get your copy today.